Might be a record-setting night because we might actually be able to talk to you. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but tonight, Jacqi thinks she might be able to get to the comments on YouTube, so we're going to give it a try. I know Facebook will work, but we are going to try to get back to YouTube.
To YouTube?
It's where we...
This all started.
It's where it all started, man. Okay. We're almost ready to start, so we're just getting the stream started. Let me make sure I did what I think I did. Did I do it? Yes, I did it.
So sure.
I know.
So sure of yourself.
Let me see. I think. Are we? Okay. Here we go, guys. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey.
We're back for another chat.
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, and we're back. We're here to talk about some art stuff. And tonight, actually, I'm looking forward to this. It's we're going to talk about improving our creativity, but we picked up a few things over the years, and like there's some little tips and tricks I think that are really easy, but it's just a way of thinking about art that really does help. And Jacqi's hair is green.
That's right.
Thanks to you guys.
Yep. It is, and I should say it is emerald green.
Mm.
And I know like the photo that we showed people, it was the suggestion was like a yellowy green. And first of all, I just want to say that green is the most popular hair color right now, apparently. So it was really hard to find green. And like every place was out of it, so they were definitely out of like the neon green. So I had to settle for this emerald green, which I like.
Emerald green sounds pretty.
It's nice. I like it. It's different, but they were out of all the temporary, like the wash after it comes out after 2 washes. So the only kind I could find was the semi-permanent. So this is in for like a while. I'm hoping next week when I do the new color, it just sits on top of it and it doesn't become some sort of brown, black mush of craziness.
I had a little Chihuahua that I had, and then we had I dyed her green for St. Patty's Day once used Kool-Aid, and she loved it. She got so much attention. She just just like, oh my gosh. She was definitely a Chihuahua that liked attention. She wasn't afraid of people and all that sort of stuff. Wasn't like a barky dog, but it did yellow, and it started to yellow, and I guess she just looked like a big dog had wet on her.
Yeah. And that's what I was kind of afraid of with going green and doing like a yellow green is it's eventually going to look like I swam in a chlorinated pool for weeks, and I just, I couldn't, the darker green worked out anyway. And hopefully the blue, next week if we do blue, it'll just sit on top of it.
Well, it sounds cute to me. I like the idea of the emerald green. One of the major colleges here in town is UNT, University of North Texas, and their color is green. So I wonder if green is just popular because of because of the city we live in, or if it's, because of it's just a popular color right now. I don't know.
I think it's just a popular color right now because that's what the woman at the store I went to was just like, yeah, green right now, it's big. I was apparently the third person that walked in and asked about the color. So it's like,
maybe people are getting ready for St. Patty's.
Yeah, real early.
Yeah. Man, you never know. Well, tonight it's going to be fun. I think I'm working on stuff here in the studio, so I'll be painting as we're talking. Next week I'll probably actually talk about, I don't know, like a tutorial or something like that. Tonight we're just sort of chatting. Just wanted it to be kind of a low key, chatty night, fun, and talk about some stuff.
Sounds fun, and I have some fun facts about green.
Oh, that's nice.
The color green. I should say Christy Allman is with us and says hello.
Well, hello, Christy.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
I hope you are doing well. We just got word, and I'm sure she got the same, that the Houston Art Festival was bumped again this
really?
year. Yeah, so now what was Memorial is bumped to downtown. So
are they going to try to do it in October?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing with artists and wait lists and moving people around. Or what I've noticed, which is really weird, is that people, the big concern has been like if you were in a festival and then you get bumped to the following year, like anybody that goes to apply for that next year is basically, it's pointless to apply. But it seems like I've been getting a lot of notifications that they've got openings. So it makes me wonder if fellow artists are super worried about it, or people are just getting out of the biz. I don't know.
It's going to be hard for people. I mean, we're lucky that the festivals was just kind of a small part of what we did, like with the art and all. So that was, and a big part of that was because we never trusted it. You never know. I don't know. We were more worried about storms than pandemics, but I miss it. Like, I really want to go to Houston, and I miss, being out there. I miss going to that little sushi restaurant.
Yes, the guy. I mean, we knew them by name. It was ridiculous.
I know, and I want to go back to that. There was this little. Do you remember that place we walked across the highway or over to go like to that place where they were playing music?
Oh, yeah.
It was like one of the few places that was open.
Yeah, and they had like an outside DJ, and it was like 80s hip hop. It was epic.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I want to go back there. That was so much fun. It was just, we didn't want to drive anywhere, and we could walk there, and it was the only thing kind of, man, tell you what, it's the little things in the festival lifestyle that you miss,
Yeah.
But, well, here, let me show you what I'm working on. I guess it's okay to show what I'm working on, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm showing it. Okay.
Michael McCullough has joined us and says, "Hey guys."
Hey Michael. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Well, this is in really early days in this painting. It's taken a couple of days to get it this far, believe it or not. But it's just because it's a large painting. Like, I don't know if you can tell it on camera, but it goes up past, like, I'm touching the top of it now. So it's up here, and it goes all the way to the bottom. And it goes off on the sides, but it's a big painting. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But it's going to be a couple riding a motorcycle in Lake Tahoe and
living their best life.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of fun. This in the background over here, it's a lot of green, so you can feel where I did the line. Well, you can see where I did the line, so I can feel where I did the line. But here's a lot of green, but it's going to be trees and stuff, like a lot of pines, and then rocks that are like outcroppings and stuff that are coming in, and then over here is actually the lake. There's gonna be some trees and stuff right here. There's trees on the far bank, and then of course the mountains. But that'll be fun. So I've just been working on that. I have another painting that I'm working on. It's kind of fun. It's an acrylic pour and a resin painting, but it's gonna be a wine painting. But I don't have that over here right now. I was working on it, and I went a little crazy with the colors, but I liked what I was doing, but it wasn't really matching the flavors of the wine that I was trying to capture. So I'm not showing that one right now, but I'm going to use it for something else because I liked where it was going, and I just like, instead of stopping that, just let it go, and then I'm going to start a new one for the wine.
I would agree. I think it doesn't feel like wine, but it looks cool, so I could see it turning into something
I knew
else.
it when I was doing it too. It's like one of those things, like, 'cause I thought, well, I knew the colors that I needed, and I don't know, but I just started mixing other colors and getting them prepped. And
I think you went nuts.
I did, but it was just, I thought, because I was having so much fun with the technique and all this sort of stuff. And
blacked out, and then you were swimming in a sea of rainbow colors.
It was, but it's really, it's fun. It's fun. I'll tell you that.
Well, Ken has joined us and says howdy, and Robin
howdy.
has joined us and says hello, loves. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, well, thanks. Well, I did want to talk a little bit. Well, probably a lot.
Give me some of your artistic expertise.
Oh my goodness! Here
Share.
we go. All right. Well, I thought it'd be kind of fun to just chat. Because we get on here and paint. And next week, I think I actually want to do like a step by step or something, and maybe actually something for to do with. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really think. There's a few things I want to think about maybe doing, but. Maybe something for Valentine's. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the meantime, though, I thought it would be fun to just talk about some stuff that would be kind of interesting. I thought, like for artists or whenever you think about art and whatnot. So anyway, This is just some ideas. So this is just sort of kind of to start a conversation. So Jacqi has no idea what I'm about to say.
Ooh, this could get interesting.
Yeah, really. Okay, and this is like for art, like whether it's a hobby or whether it is whether it's a hobby, or whether it is just like for your career or anything like that. So it's just for like whatever, So that's where I'm coming to from here. So anyway, okay, work and talent. Work beats talent.
I like how you have the greater than similants.
Well,
Nice.
I'm a simple thinker. What can I say?
Well, Robin says love your hair, and Ken says a green heart. So
Oh, green heart. That's
thanks.
nice.
And I know Robin's favorite color is green. So
Well, there you go. That's perfect. One of the things, like for the talent thing, this is one. And when I talk about artwork, I don't mean just painting, but writing and everything. I remember Dr. Barbara Rodman at university. She's a creative writing instructor, and she was my mentor for writing. And one of the things that she said was that, like the writers and the artists that tended to go off and do better, like become actually like that's their career. It wasn't necessarily that they had a great natural talent with it, but it was that they worked really hard with it. And that's something that I thought was really interesting, that it's the work that has to do way more than like any sort of what you would call a natural talent or inspiration. I mean, I know like a lot of times with artwork, like they'll say, oh, it's got to, it's inspired and all this, and and it is, and but it's like you can't just do artwork like when you're inspired or when it's that can't be the only fuel, And I think a lot of times when people think about art or they're going to do something creative, they think like, oh my gosh, I got to be like on fire through the whole thing and all that.
yeah,
And it's just that's not the way it works. Like even Einstein said that genius is like 1% talent, 99% hard work, which is really, I think that's it. Hemingway says sometimes he would write the story, sometimes they would write themselves. But every day he would sit down at a typewriter and he would try to at least write, he would write all day, but he would try to write one true sentence was his goal. It was just work.
yeah. I would totally agree with that, because I noticed when I was in art school, and then I interned at galleries and stuff like that. The people that were successful were obsessed. Like, it's next level. So it's like you can't not create art, or you can't not play the guitar, or you can't not do that. Like, and I know for me, because I didn't end up going in the gallery circuit or being a famous artist in that respect. So
not yet.
Yeah. For me, it's always been kind of a point of contention, because I also wanted to pay rent, and so it kind of became this sort of like torture of, I and maybe it's laziness, I don't know, but like it where your life takes different directions, so then your time gets filled, and so at what point is the obsession not really what your calling is? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and and I think that's like I think I know what you mean. I think and I hear that, and I think for a lot of people that are thinking about a career or their hobby is art, they won't do it because they'll say, oh, I don't have a talent, I can't draw a straight line or this or that, and it's drawing a straight line isn't that hard. I mean, you just you draw 20 lines, and one of them is going to be the straightest one out of the 20, and you pick that one and you darken it, But it's not that. I think like you have to have this inspiration going all the time, and that's sort of the fallacy with it. And then whenever you feel that fire kind of going, you think like, oh, there must be something wrong with me, or creativity. I don't have that creative passion or something. You got to be so passionate to do art, but you have to just buckle down and go to work really with it, and it's a roller coaster, like there's going to be some times when you start and you're really excited about it, and then you're a few hours into it and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then, but you think, well, it doesn't matter. You just, but that kind of goes into the second thing that I wanted to mention. So here, let me
while you're transitioning, let me say, Robin said Amanda Lee wants to do a pour painting with you sometime.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be a blast. It would be great just to see them.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. We're talking about like, man, it would be good to See other human beings.
Yeah. And also, she said, you're being broadcast on our 48-inch TV. Y'all are too awesome to be watched on our phones.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
I don't know if my head was meant to be that big.
I know, we just get really close to the camera and then we're just like in your living room.
Hey guys.
It's obnoxious. And Ken says practice makes beauty.
Oh,
So,
there we go. That's nice. I like that. All right, next slide. Kill the ego.
Kill the ego. This is hard. I mean, for some people. Not
Oh
for me.
yeah. Well, for me, my ego has withstood many of an onslaught by everybody I've met. They're like, "You're not all that." I'm like, yes, I am. What are you talking about? Have you met me? No, I mean, it's having confidence is huge, and you've got to have that with art or anything you want to do, like creatively or whatnot. But if you have too much ego in it, you can't really learn. Like you block yourself off. And if you want to see the negative effects of on the creative process, if you go to any creative writing class, any art or speech class where you have to stand up and actually, present your work to the rest of the class, you can really see ego at work. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
People are so focused on how they think that they're going to be perceived, about how other people are going to look at them and think about them, that everything they're doing, like their work, what the thing they're supposed to be focusing on, just goes to the back burner, the back page. Like it doesn't even matter anymore. It's all about how they're going to be perceived.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh man,
I know it's just terrible memories when you bring up speech class or something.
Well, in art school, I remember it was like certain teachers were easy, kind of pushovers, whatever, but other teachers would just rail into you, they would just not. They didn't care about your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
So you had to be ready for that. And I can remember, and I was I was doing photography, so it wasn't necessarily painting or anything, but I remember there's always some of those students out there that just think they're, awesome, and watching them squirm or just, I don't know, talk back to the teacher.
Yeah.
You just know that that's like a huge. That person will never be open or responsive, be open to like other ideas of perspectives on how to look at the art or something. So it almost does them a disservice.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Oh man, there's plenty of those students in art school, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, and that's so and I think right now it's even harder for creative people because of social media in a way, because you'll go on there and you'll look at other creatives and you'll see what they're doing and the numbers sometimes they're getting and how much they're posting and you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? Like their stuff's amazing and they're doing this all the time and blah blah blah, and you start thinking about how people are perceiving you more than what it is you're putting out and all. And and the focus gets switched. We need social media, we need to get the word out, especially right now with the festivals, like we were just talking about, we're all out there trying to figure out different ways to get our vision out there and to make a difference, to express ourselves, and if art's your job also, to make a living with it. But there's a point where it can become a distraction, and whenever you're at the creative part of it, you can't really be thinking about how people are thinking about it. It's just like you learn pretty quickly when you're doing something creative. Whenever somebody gives you advice, if they like a painting or if they don't like a painting, or if you're a musician, they like a song, they don't like a song, you take it with a grain of salt, because them liking it could stop your improving, because you think, oh, it's good enough right now. If they don't like it, maybe they just don't understand it. So you learn kind of how to navigate that. But then, now all with the social media and all this stuff going on, it's a whole other thing. You need to have confidence in your work, but be able to stay humble enough to know that there's room for improvement, that you can get out there, and also that someone else's successes isn't your failure. So if you go on there and you see somebody doing really well on social media, that doesn't mean you're doing poorly. Maybe there's something you can learn from them. Maybe they bought some of their subscribers. You never know.
Yeah, I would
never know.
I would never necessarily weigh the reach that you get on social media as how good your work is necessarily. I mean, especially after, we crunch the numbers sometimes on our stuff, and it's like, there's so many different ways that people get their numbers up that may have nothing to do with what they actually, the content they actually put out there. But
yeah, that's so true. You know, it's funny because our numbers like aren't astronomical or anything at all, but
your art is just fantastic.
Yeah, but my art is amazing. So there's proof right there, guys.
See?
Exhibit A. Ba-bams. Case
Kill
closed.
the ego.
We make some great detectives. I tell you what, we should open an agency. Case solved.
There you go. Well, let me say, Michael says, good thing y'all are dressed up. Y'all look nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not wearing pants. No, I'm just kidding. I am.
When I did my hair green, I was like, man, I gotta like do something to it because I'm not sure about this. So I was like trying to do it up a bit. Owen says, I'm up for painting with you too. That would be fun.
Oh, Owen, that'd be awesome, man.
And Ken said profound observation, and Eric joined us and said, yes, creative writing classes were eye-opening and good memories.
Yeah, and yeah, I would always love creative writing classes. I always remember the very beginning of it. We'd take all the desks and move them into a circle. That was sort of the thing.
Yeah. And Robin said Amanda Lee sent me a message. Thank you. I'll check it out. And Barbara Branch joined us, says, oops, I forgot to tune in. Jacqi, I like the hair. It's the best so far. So green is the best so far. Okay.
Well, there you go.
Cool. That's probably a good thing because it is semi-permanent. Unfortunately.
I wrote down here earlier, if you focus on success, you will find it hard to create. If you focus on creating, you will get success.
Look at you.
That quote's by me. No, but it's basically, people have said that same thing a million different ways. But I was thinking though, it's true though, because if you're just thinking about how can I be a successful artist, how and that's really where your creativity is going, is how can I be successful, then you're not going to be that creative in your other stuff. Maybe, I don't know. It's a thought. You only have so much energy. Make sure it's going in the right spots. That's my thought. I don't know.
I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I feel better about it.
There
Another case solved.
Bam.
Oh, your creativity can't tell time.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Let
me make sure my Bluetooth. I need to go to the notes. What was I thinking earlier this afternoon? Now, one of the things we do, I think, anybody that has a creative bone, is that you're always waiting for the right time to do something. Maybe like, you get the right materials, you're going to order something, you're waiting for that to come in. You need a little bit extra time here. You don't really have the right space for it. There's always something, and like in your artwork, it could be this, could be that. You're always waiting for the conditions to be just exactly perfect, for the stars to align, and it does that whenever you're starting anything new in your business too, and all that. So I mean, if you're kind of like if we waited for our video editing and our streaming skills to be perfect, we wouldn't be talking to you right now.
What are you talking about? We've mastered this situation.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Never mind. Forget that. Okay, so this little slide, forget it. I don't know what. I
think you should add a fifth element to this, and it be don't discount your product.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and don't get down on yourself. But that's the thing though. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you're always waiting for the right time, you're not really gonna be moving forward. Plans generally don't work out perfectly anyway. So how many times have you had a plan for something, and it went perfect? Like you didn't have to change anything. That's just not the way things usually work. Like you think about it, you put your best foot forward, you kind of figure out the best way to kind of do it, and then you get ready to call audibles. And you just go one step at a time, and you figure things out as you go. Really is the kind of the way that works.
Do you have an example of this?
Well, I don't know. Kind of the way we do everything with the artwork. Like.
Yes, I would agree. That's why I asked, because it's pretty much everything. Like,
yeah.
Every project we sign on to, there's like, oh my gosh, there's a monkey wrench thrown in.
Well, yeah, like like the murals. Like the first time that I did a mural, like in New York, we were contacted by a company saying, "Hey, we want to do something really big, for World Sight Day. Do you think you could paint a mural?" And visually impaired person, never painted a mural. I'd never done it, but I thought about it for a bit. I thought, yeah, I think we could do that, and then we're flying to New York to do it in front of a film crew. If you're gonna fail too, you should fail big. That's the
you should
other
definitely
thing.
capture it on camera.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the things, but everything that we kind of do with it, it's kind of like a 4-story mural. After that, we're like, oh, let's see if we can do a 4-story mural, something you really can't touch the whole thing. We're like, well, let's give it a try. But you can even see it in science or in nature, because the hardest part of, like, if you're trying to move something, to get an object to move, it's that very beginning part. That's when you use the most energy. But once you're actually moving, inertia kicks in. You're able to keep it rolling a lot easier. And if you're waiting to ever begin something, you'll be waiting for a long time. If you just get everything as right as you can get it and start making those steps, and every step you assess and you try to improve it, you're going to be moving forward. Right from the get-go. And and that's something I think that, I don't know, we forget about. Like, we're so afraid to fail that we don't get started, And as a creative person, as creative people, can be really hard on ourselves. Like, most of the creative people I know are some of the kindest, sweetest, most interesting people you'd ever want to meet. And they're so nice to other people, but they are vicious with themselves. They'll give themselves all kinds of criticism, and and it makes it hard for you to even get started.
Well, Sharon joins us and says, "Love the hair."
Ooh.
Thank you. Green is the color this week, so here we are, semi-permanent hair color. It's crazy. So I have a question. You were saying creatives are so difficult on themselves. What is something you can do to get over a creative block?
Oh. Creative blocks are actually kind of easy to get over.
Oh.
If you know how.
Dazzle us.
Send me $1 to my post office box and I'll let you know. No, I'm just kidding. No. Oh, that's funny. No, actually with the block though, one of the things about a block is that you're blocked. You're stagnant. You're not moving. And the best thing you can start doing, like if you're writing and you get a writer's block, and that's huge. We've all heard of writer's block. Just, back in the old days, put a fresh piece of paper in your typewriter and just start writing. Open up a new screen on your word processor, document on your computer, and just start typing. Just start writing about what it is you're doing then. Write about being blocked. Write about everything.
So stream of conscious kind of
Yeah,
situation.
If you need to. And painting, if you're blocked on something with painting, keep painting. Just, and move to another painting. Move to something else. Eventually, it's gonna work its way loose from that. But if you're stagnant, if you just don't do it, if you just sit there, it's really gonna hurt. But there's also something you do to help not get blocked in the first place. And that's always stop whatever it is you're doing creatively with something left undone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who did that? Hemingway.
I do that. I don't know.
No. I mean, like there was like a writer.
I can see how you get us confused.
Yeah. There was a writer where they would end their day, and they wouldn't finish a sentence.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think it was Hemingway. I'm pretty sure it was Hemingway. He wouldn't finish a sentence because then the next day he could just, it was like he didn't even skip a beat.
Yeah. That's perfect.
I mean, it sounds like Hemingway. It sounds like something he would do.
Yeah. So I know in a painting, I always know what the next step's going to be. So when I come back in, I know exactly where I'm going to be, and I usually have a few things going. So if I do get blocked, and I do get blocked on a certain aspect, but I don't stop painting. I just move on to something else on it. So I either move to a different part of the painting, or I move to another painting or something else. But you don't stop moving, and don't stop moving because of a block. Keep working. Do anything else after that, and then whenever and that motion will help. And then when you come back, it'll be a lot easier.
Well, Eric says resistance and self-sabotage. He says just do it. Free writes, doodles. Yep, pretty much that.
Yeah, Eric knows.
Doodles. That's a really great idea. When I was in art school, I remember I had a teacher once that said, anytime you get a block, an artist block, do self-portraits. Just go into like self-portrait mode. And that just, it's almost kind of like that stream of consciousness. You're just creating to create, so you don't sit there. But another thing that people could do is research and try a new technique, because that might spark some ideas.
That's a good idea.
If you're a writer, try a different genre, or if you're a painter, try a different brush, or Man, I mean, there's no shortage of like YouTube videos on how to do something. In fact, that's something that gets me a little hung up is there's so much to do and so much to try that it's like, how do you become unique in all of this?
Oh.
That's difficult. Yeah. Chew on that.
Well, remember, don't worry about success. Just worry about creating.
There you go.
And don't worry at all. Just, But, okay, let me pull this back up. Boop, because this kind of goes into the next thing. Repeat after me. Failure is good.
Failure's what?
Good.
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 Okay.
Real good.
What makes you say that?
Well, one thing, if you're not afraid of failure, the blocks and stuff aren't as big of a problem because the worst you're going to do is mess it up. And if that's not a problem, then then there's not. It kind of takes some of the energy out of the fear of being a block. Like the fear goes away. But in artwork, most of artwork is failure. That sounds like a very optimistic, happy thing. Our lives are crap. Just live it. Just understand it and accept it. No, I mean, whenever you're drawing a line or anything, like if you're sketching, like if you go to art class, you learn how to sketch. You might take 20, 50, 100 lines to like light lines, and then you pick one that's kind of going the right way and whatever, and then you darken that one, and then you do the next part and you darken that. It's just mistake after mistake, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to put yourself out there. And one of the things you don't want to, and I almost hate to talk about this too much because I know I'm repeating myself, and this is something that I talk about whenever I go and give talks and stuff, different places, but about failure. But one of the things that I've done for a long time is whenever I meet somebody that I admire, like in their career or something that I think, oh, wow, this person's really, really cool. Like they've really achieved something. I'll ask them, well, what's the secret of your success? Like what, if there's anything, what helped you kind of get there? And I hear time and time again that you've got to fail. You've got to fail and you got to fail again. You got to fail. You got to keep failing and not be afraid of failing. And if you're not failing, you're probably not trying enough new things because you need to be failing. That's just part of the creative process. And because it's through the failure that you're learning. And it's a very, very valuable part of the creative process. And I think a lot of times we forget that, or maybe like we never know it or we never think about it. I don't really remember writing instructors telling me, you're going to write poorly. It's going to be bad.
You're going to suck
There's going to be a lot of bad. It's just going to be a lot of bad. You need to.
Well, Carla agrees with you. She's joined us and says you learn from it. So, yes.
Yeah. And, I actually get a little excited whenever I make a mistake on a painting. Like if I'm trying to do something and I don't do it right. I mean, I don't like it because, it's what I do and I love it. But, so I don't like that aspect. I'm like, oh, it puts me back. I'm going to have to try to figure out, how to do this. But it just pushed me, though. And I love learning about art. So it pushes me to start reading more articles and reading different things and start trying to figure out how in the world does this work, But it's all because of that failure. Whenever something works kind of the way that I want it to, that's kind of stymied. Like I'm not really growing there anymore. And as an artist that really wants their style to morph and change and to grow into something bigger, being stymied on any front is death. That's bad. That's not good. That's not where I want to be. I want to be better in 5 years, And so I know every failure I'm making, I'm actually breaking new ground. Like I'm actually trying out some stuff and it's not working, which is pretty awesome, really, as an artist. Like, you need to be constantly. So I've been failing successfully for about 15 years as an artist. And I hope to be failing for many years to come. But,
Nice. Hey.
That's what it is. Hey.
That's cool. Hey. That's pretty cool. So those are your big things you wish you had known before.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot easier, or to know that you're going to make mistakes. You need to make mistakes. It's okay. Take your ego out of it.
Yeah.
That it's just kind of gonna get in your way. That's because you worry. I think there's a huge worry too when you're an artist, especially if you're trying to make a living at it. But that your ego starts getting into it because you want to put your stuff out there, especially with social media. You think, well, if I'm not doing that, then, if I'm not like, I don't know, then I'm not doing it right, or people aren't going to notice it, or this or that, and and I mean, it needs to get out there, and you got to put that work into that part of it, but even more into the creative part, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that.
Especially first, early on.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway from art school was you just got to do it. You just got to do it all the time. You have to have this some sort of level of obsession with creating, because just doing it here and there, I mean, if you want to sell it and show it in galleries and that be your sole, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That was and that can be difficult for some people because, I don't know, it was difficult for me.
It's funny too, like whenever you think about that, and like I know, like when I started selling art, and working with museums and different things, like I didn't really have a plan for it. I mean, I thought, I'll just be doing this, and and I kind of had an idea of what it would be like, and things changed so much over the years. That being able to be flexible about it, I think, really helps. I mean, I think that makes you a lot more successful than if you tried to plan everything out. I mean, like, I don't know, most people I know that went and got a college degree, most of the people aren't necessarily working in a career that goes along with their degree. Like if they were an English major, they're not necessarily teaching English, or they're speaking English usually, but I mean, they're not necessarily using that lit degree necessarily. There's sometimes, but or like your undergrad was in photography.
Right.
Although you do use photography here, but you're not you don't hang your shingle out as a photographer.
No.
But you do a lot of art photography, but
and that is one thing. You can go to school and realize halfway through that, oh crap, I'm not in the right scenario. I know for me, I was growing up, I wanted to be a National Geographic photographer. That was my spiel. I was like, man, I don't care. I want to take these fantastic photos. They're beautiful. I want this adventure or whatever. And then you get into the harsh reality of working and paying for things in life, and then you start to question, are your priorities where they need to be to fulfill that. So I know for me, when I found out what it took to be a National Geographic photographer, I was not in it that hard. Like, I was not.
You're like, I like my toes. I don't want to.
I don't want to live with penguins for 6 months on an iceberg and maybe sell my photos to National Geographic, which is how that worked at the time. So there was no, like, you get on staff and you're this glorified photographer, and you don't know that when you go into college and you're like, I'm going to be that, and then you realize the harsh reality of some of these jobs, and you're like, no. So I mean, you do other things. Like I do photography for this, or I taught photography at UNT, and worked in journalism because my minor was photojournalism. So take different paths.
You probably use your graduate degree more, like the design and all. I would think a lot more.
A little bit. I don't know. That's
you
real,
do a lot
like,
of design
nerdy
stuff though, like
stuff
for the webpage and for the immersive shows that we're putting together. You're using a ton for that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Kind of weird. It's but it's nice to have a mix, because I know like whenever we met, I was sleeping in my closet, and if we hadn't.
You make that sound ridiculous. Like, sorry, you're just like, I was sleeping in my closet. Like that's like, you're just gonna gloss over that.
Oh, well, I mean, I had a 2-bedroom apartment, but I slept in my closet because it gave more room for the art, so that I could have more art space. Because I started in the den, and I thought,
that's what attracted me to you. I was like, he's an outside of the box thinker.
Well, it was a big closet. Like it fit the mattress in it. So. And I needed more, because I started with like a 4x4 foot kind of section in the den, in the living room area, the apartment. And I thought, this is plenty. And then before I knew it, I'd taken over the den, the kitchen area, and then one of the bedrooms, the den, the kitchen area, they're both bedrooms. And I thought, I don't really need this bed in here. Like, if I moved it to the closet, I can just go in the closet. So that's what I did.
And you wanted pitch black when you slept, because I think at the time you were having eye problems, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. The light really, really, really hurt my eyes then, and so like it worked out nice, because it was like cinder block walls in the closet, and you close the door and boom.
Yeah, that whole apartment was a little sketchy, but anyway, Ron Captain has joined us and says, "Hi guys, hey, thanks for joining us."
Hey. Elvira, Mistress of the Night. Ron messaged me earlier. I said if I've ever thought about doing a painting
Ooh,
about her.
that'd be a good one.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He said though if I did a sitting with her in person though, he wants to be there.
She was actually at Jack and I go to these gaming conventions whenever they pop up, and there was a pinball one, and she was there because her and Flash Gordon, if anybody knows that reference, they were both there chilling next to their pinballs. Like, I mean, whatever company I'm sure paid them to be out there. And,
that's pretty cool.
And they were sitting there signing things. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Elvira. That's awesome.
I'd love to meet her. That would be cool.
That would be cool. I bet you'd want to meet her. You'd be like, I gotta feel my models.
This is gonna take a day or two.
Make sure you're in the old dress. I liked it. Eric says, haha. I was someone with a pretty big ego in writing, and I remember you had a story that blew me away and put me in perspective. Wow. And it made me try harder and accept challenge. Wow.
Wow, well, thank you, Eric. That
cool.
means a lot, man. Gosh.
And then my mom joins us, says, hi, guys. Hey.
Hey.
Kylie Sykes joins us, says, hey, guys. Sorry I'm late. Christy said, very outside-the-box thinker, speaking of you, sleeping in a closet. So.
Well, hey, Kylie. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. And yeah, but that's nice though, because like you're very grounded, but you're also extremely like artistic and creative and all that. But you definitely have a good anchor on the ground.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
No, I mean like I don't know, like I mean, but you're very creative and you'll like especially like you're such a great mom and stuff like with Jack. I remember him being like a little kid and he wanted to get in paints and stuff, and you're like, go for it, and then we'll get him down his diaper, and then he'll go in the studio and go nuts and go crazy, and you're like, or if you end up getting like, I don't know, his clothes dirty or something, you're like, oh, like, you weren't the type of mom where you're like, oh my gosh, you messed your shirt up. You'd be like, you'll be out, you'll have outgrown that shirt in 2 weeks anyway.
Well, that is the truth. But thank you. We should call this the Compliment Jacqi Show.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Hey, I got some trivia for you. Green.
All right.
Do you know green is probably the most toxic color? And was probably the cause.
I was just feeling green trees when you said that. Like, well. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. Well, okay. Up until like 1960, it was pretty toxic.
Wow. What? Why? Oh, was it arsenic?
Yes.
Oh.
Very good. Very good.
Hey, I'm not just a pretty face.
Yes. So, yeah, in 1775, a Swedish chemist named Carl Wilhelm Scheele invented the deadly hue.
Ooh, that's what they called it? Dang.
Yeah.
That had to hurt cells.
It was...
I'd like 2 ounces of the deadly hue, please.
Yeah, really. It was laced with arsenic. It was cheap to produce. And, in fact, it was such a popular color once it was could be created that way, that Napoleon wanted all his bedroom wallpaper in the color.
Wow. And
that is why some people think that he died, like part of why he died.
Man.
Let's see. Also, by the end of the 19th century, Paris green, which is a similar mixture of copper and arsenic, replaced that green. But that's when Claude Monet and Cézanne was doing their work. And so they think that that's what led to Monet's blindness and
wow,
and Cézanne's diabetes.
Dang,
all kinds of tragic, man.
Good grief! It's funny. Lead paint and the white and the titanium stuff, then arsenic. Good grief!
I mean, it wasn't too long ago that there was like lead in everything, all the paint, everything. God knows what we'll find out next is in these paints that we use.
Yeah.
So.
Man.
There you go. There's your green facts for the day.
Well, thank you. That's pretty cool, man. It's funny how you learn about that stuff, like asbestos. I remember hearing like when that came out, it was a revolutionary. It was just amazing, and like living better life with asbestos, stuff. Yeah.
Well, another fun thing was in green in old like Middle Age paintings
Mm-hmm.
was actually always used to represent like betrayal or inconsistencies.
Ooh.
You'll see a lot of Jesus paintings with Judas is in a green cloak or whatever.
Oh.
And they think that the reason for that was because over time, the creating the pigment green was really inconsistent, and they could never like really get it perfect.
Oh.
So it was it had this like bad,
Oh, weird.
sort of reputation.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
weird. Huh.
Yeah, pretty weird. All that stuff.
Well, hopefully they
Colors.
stop using arsenic since you put it all over your head tonight.
Right?
Man.
Although this stuff smelled like coconuts.
It did smell like coconuts.
It's nice.
It smelled nice when I walked in the bathroom after you. And
I know.
but it was
I was
nice.
like, oh, okay, this is nice. I never, hey. I think because the stuff I used, last week
Mhm.
was, we had to clear the room because it was like too.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
aerosol.
That stuff was pungent.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And you were getting purple all over yourself.
And it got all over my face, which
That's
was
crazy.
absurd. By the time I walked into the living room, Jack was like, "What is wrong with you?"
That's crazy that a hair dye would do that. Because, you know that people wearing a temporary dye, they're not going to want the color coming off all over their skin and clothes.
And
That's
what
odd.
was even the spray stuff you use for Halloween, you don't want it all over you. And there was
Yeah.
no like doing this to my hair without it going all over my hands. So, and I did it out an hour or so before the show, so it was like it should have set.
Yeah.
So that was just problematic. But I will say it was like probably the cheapest spray on color I could find, just because I was, I don't know, trying to do it all fast.
Man, that's crazy.
Well, Nancy joins us, says, hi, Bramlets, hey.
Hey.
And Chrissy said, I sure miss you guys. Miss you as well. I miss yapping about nothing and sharing drinks in the cooler at the festivals.
Yeah, hopefully before long everything will be back to normal.
I'm hoping. And Eric said, absinthe green, wormwood. Ooh. I'm sure there's all sorts of references to that and art and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Man. That makes me want some absinthe.
That's just
The green
immediately where
fairy.
you go.
Yeah. Well, I think absinthe got a bad rap, though.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy, but it was listed as being crazy because of copper and different things and the wormwood. But pardon me. Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion, though. But
Your love of absinthe?
no, gosh, I haven't had any forever. But it is funny though how it had such a I don't know. That'd actually be kind of an interesting little show to get into, and the idea of burning the sugar cubes and all was because it was really, really bad stuff they were doing, the absinthe, and they were just trying to cover the taste. Like, something's got to be bad. Like, something went wrong if the idea is that you need to burn it, like something, you need to burn something and put it in it to cover the flavor. Because, you're not really, with real absinthe, you don't really need to do that. Anyway, blah, blah, blah.
What I hear you
How did I get
saying,
over here? I guess because we're talking about green.
what I hear you saying is that we need to have a show strictly where we set up a flight of different absinthe methods and people just watch us drink. Is that
I guess,
is that what we're doing? Okay.
There we go.
Next week.
All right, for next show, everybody get a bottle of absinthe, and we'll meet at 8 p.m. No, it's just, I don't know. I thought it was interesting because it was such an artsy drink, like, in Paris and all. It was kind of interesting to look into it, too, because it was just, like you look into writing in the 1920s and, Fitzgerald, Hemingway, you get all these different things, and they'll talk about, it's not so much like absinthe like in Hemingway and all that, but the writing back then, though, and the artists, like Toulouse-Lautrec, and you get all these guys in there, Van Gogh, and they're drinking absinthe, and you think, oh, that's why Van Gogh was crazy, but then you hear why it was considered that way, and then I don't know, it was really, to me, going back and looking at the history of that and the period with the literature and the music and all this going on, is pretty interesting.
That would be cool.
But I'm a nerd. I
Fun
don't know.
time to live in if you survived it.
Yeah, and then and then you start hearing like it got in the wine industry is what started making it, giving it a bad name, but it also did get a bad name in a way because like some people were trying to capitalize on it, so they would throw like pennies or something into the alcohol
Ew.
to turn it green, and so yeah, there
That's
was
terrible.
Yeah, but then like that was easy to correct, and people stop like don't
Gosh.
don't artificially color your drinks
Dang.
with pennies.
Ugh. Well, Nancy says, "Oh, I want to be there for that." Speaking of our absinthe flight, yes.
There we go.
And Eric said, "Lucid absinthe is good if you can find it." And Mansoneth too. So we'll have to look for that because I know you're a fan. I don't like liquor. I don't like the taste of licorice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not an absinthe. I'll take a sip or whatever because I want to be able to talk about it. But it's gross. Like that licorice flavor is disgusting. I remember we were in New Orleans and there was a absinthe bar that they had all the drinks you wanted, but they were an absinthe bar. So they had every absinthe. They had every method of making it, everything.
And you're like, oh, great.
And
everything tastes like poop.
I was like, I knew you wanted to go in that because you really like absinthe, but I was like, okay, I'll get one. And then what did they burn the sugar?
Yeah, I was disappointed because, like, the whole reason that you burn the sugar was for the Czechoslovakian absinthe, where it was just a bad, like it's not a good flavor. At least back then, I don't know what it's like now, but that's kind of where that came to mask the flavor. But they had every absinthe, like really really nice ones, and then they were still burning sugar to mask it. And you're like, well, good. It'd be like somebody giving you a really nice glass of wine, and then like scraping burnt toast into it or something just to cover the taste of the wine. And you're like, well, don't do that. I don't. Anyway,
weird.
I know I'm not much of a foodie either or anything like that, but it's just like, don't burn something on purpose.
You don't need it. It's just not going to add a great flavor. So
I just felt a little put down because it was an absinthe place. It was like, so they should know more about it than anything.
Oh, Eric says Marilyn Manson has his own absinthe, so it's Mansoneth. That's what that name refers to. That's interesting.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to look that up.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah, I could see him.
If you were to come up with an alcohol, like De Niro has wine and different things.
Dave Matthews has wine.
Oh yeah, and Dan Aykroyd has like vodka, like a Skull.
Yeah, Skull vodka.
The energy of the Skull is coming through, and yeah. Dan.
So weird. What kind of alcohol would I have?
Yeah, what would it be?
That's a good question because my go-to would be wine.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's too cliche. That's too much. So I also like Crown, so maybe like a sipping whiskey would be nice.
Oh.
But nothing too sweet. Like I like those sweet sipping whiskeys, but then they're overpowering. Like, Andy likes that caramel Crown, and it's like, okay, by the end of the holidays, you're good. So I don't know. That's a good question. What would you do?
I don't know either. I'd have to think about that. Gosh.
I mean, it's not like we don't have,
I'll have to think about that.
Or whatever they're called in the shed.
Oh, man. Yeah,
you can make beer.
Just gut moonshine. That's what I would.
Yeah, just moonshine.
Just moonshine, but the cheap stuff. Not any of the fancy shine. Monkey shines. That's what.
Nancy says cognac. That sounds yummy.
That would be good. I guess in the moonshine that would be named after me, you could also clean your brushes in. So it'd be multiple.
There you go. You could have that. You know what? I think you just had a genius idea.
Brush cleaning, the cleaner that you can sip.
Yes, because you accidentally drink your wine.
I'll stop doing that. Oh, I don't do that anymore because you can't get my cup out of the. It has a bar going through it now. To keep me from drinking my brush water.
I think you may have stumbled onto something smart there.
Well, that's the only way I do smart things.
Brandon,
stumbling face first right into them.
Brandon Foster joins us and says Crown Black. So
nice.
All of that sounds really good.
It does. Maybe I would do like a Crown Rainbow where there's different whiskeys inside of it, but they're all at a different specific gravity. So when you look at it in the glass,
like a 7-Eleven suicide thing,
yeah. Except so when you hold it in the glass, maybe you would have like a red amber and a lighter amber and a lighter. So
how would you keep it separated?
Well, you'd have to pour it in the glass and then just let it settle for a minute or two.
Huh. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And then you could clean your brushes in it. I love it. That's genius. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I would I don't know. I'd probably end up doing something easy like wine, but...
Well, wine would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, they have those kits that you can buy now. Like, I bought you the beer kit where you could make your own beer.
Yeah.
Never got used. You know, you've suggested to me the wine one. You know what gets me? I'll tell you what gets me about it. All that sterilizing. That seems like a huge pain. Like, I don't want to have to clean the pots and pans and sterilize them. And I know that if you don't do that, you're going to get some weird fungus in your stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it is a process, I guess.
So,
but
I'm too lazy.
I think it'd be worth it, though.
Dishes.
I don't know. I think there's like powders and stuff you put in there and it'll do it. I don't know.
Without cleaning the...
No, like you clean it and all, but I think there's like some things you put in to help sterilize it, and then you wash it all out.
Yeah.
I don't know. And at our bar, we have a kegerator, a keg thing, and there's like this stuff that you can put in to sanitize it. I usually don't do that. I just undo all the tubing and then boil everything.
Yeah, see, and that's good, but I'm lazy. I don't want to do that, so I'll just buy my bottle of wine.
Oh, this is making me want
anyway.
to get a keg. Anyway.
Well, Eric says a line of Bramble liquor, colorful vodkas. That'd be kind of cool.
There we go.
That would be fun. And Brandon says Mojave liquor. I could see that. I could see some of those sweet peppery. I love a good pepper tequila and beer that's infused with a pepper.
Yeah, you do.
So I could see like a sweet mango sort of peppery infused liquor. That's a good idea.
Yeah, like in the you love like the jalapeno watermelon.
Oh my gosh, that's so yummy.
Frozen drink, or what is that?
Well, it's just a margarita, just a watermelon.
Watermelon jalapeno margarita?
Yeah, they at Rusty Tacos here in town. They'd have them, and oh my gosh, they're genius.
That's cool.
So yummy. Anyway, so there you have it. Next up, next year, maybe for Christmas, we'll unleash the Bramblet liquor collection.
And then we'll be in prison.
Yeah.
It'll be a quick release, but it'll be a heck of a party.
It'll be a party, yeah, going out.
our bathtub gin party.
Really?
Man.
Yikes. Nobody should make anything in our bathtubs.
Well, guys, I think next week I'm gonna try to do like a painting thing, where I'm showing like what I'm doing step by step, kind of get into that a little bit, and really, I don't know, anything you guys want to do. I mean, and we want to do like the art bar thing, which we haven't. Like we wanted to do a virtual kind of art bar, like where, maybe we have music. And I know we talked about that a long time ago, and Michael was so nice to say, hey, because Michael does music, maybe we could do something with Michael or something. But I don't want to. I'm not sure exactly what that would look like, and we haven't really figured out the technical parts of it. But we want to do some fun stuff though coming up.
Yeah.
The next weeks, so we're working on that, and we might come back. We might do some extra little live streams, just for kicks and giggles.
Why not?
But definitely next Tuesday at 8 though, we'll be on here chatting, and
my hair will be a different color. We'll talk about it, and maybe you'll be working on something new. Yeah.
I'll be working on something new, and we'll probably be doing like showing a painting, maybe something for Valentine's Day. I don't know.
Kylie Sykes says art bingo.
Ooh, how would that work?
I don't know, but that would be fun.
I like that.
We were trying to think of like different games to play, and so I want to do some wacky challenges.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It may require us to leave the studio and be silly for a bit, but who knows?
Man, the last wacky challenge we did was me eating really hot peppers.
I know, and that
we
was
were both
great.
supposed to eat really hot peppers, like going up, to see if pain really helped your art, make your art better.
Yeah.
And I remember you tapped out after like the first one or second one. You're like, no. We had like a Carolina Reaper or something.
I don't know.
We got something. We ordered a crazy pepper.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can still feel it. It's not.
If it's your idea, which I'm pretty sure that was your idea.
It was, which is crazy because like jalapenos. I get
the ability to tap out.
Yeah, well, it's funny, but you like spicy stuff even more than I do, and whoa. That was.
There you go. Nancy suggested a game called Know Your Bramblet.
Oh.
So showing your art with some other art that's similar.
Ooh.
And people choose. Which she had told me about. I thought it was a really good idea. That'd be fun because sometimes your style changes, but sometimes you can find other artists that are similar yet not.
Maybe show a painting and then have different titles for it. Which one's the real title?
There you go. That'd be fun.
Because is it a walk in the park, or is it the walk in the park, or is it walking in the park, or is it a stroll in the park? Or
and if there's rain, is it a stroll in the rain? I don't know. Anyway, well, okay. So Tuesday we will be back. 8 p.m. Central. We will have more to chat about, and between now and then, like, subscribe, and I don't know, keep hanging with us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Stay creative and happy and healthy out there. My goodness.
Yes, for sure.
We'll see you soon.